We always hear the phrase, do the work, practice, practice, practice. But what if doing the work is actually holding you back? You show up every day and you grind it out, but your results aren't moving the needle. And that's because hustle without mastery is just wasted motion. In today's episode, we're breaking down the difference between effort and effective effort. Why doing the coursework wrong can be more dangerous than not doing it at all. We'll unpack a story from a world-class speaker who used a literal ninja warrior course to prove this point, and how elite athletes, entrepreneurs, and performers all rely on small technical shifts to go from stuck to unstoppable. So stick around to the end, because we're going to leave you with a king move that forces you to re-examine your daily reps and level them up with precision, not just persistence. Welcome to King Moves. In chess, the king moves one step at a time, but that single move can change everything. Each week, we explore mindset shifts and simple actions that could lead to the next breakthrough in your business and life. I'm your co-host, Ethan King, from Atlanta, Georgia, USA. Entrepreneur, TEDx speaker, and best-selling author of Wealth Beyond Money.
And I'm your co-host, Justin King. No relation to Ethan, from Cape Town, South Africa. Entrepreneur, speaker, and business growth strategist. Our journey crosses continents and cultures as we think out loud, challenge assumptions, and uncover the small moves that create big momentum. Welcome to King Moves. Let's start the conversation.
Justin, you just spoke about doing the work in your recovery for your shoulder, and that reminded me of something. I attended NSA, National Speakers Association conference just last week in Arizona, their influence conference. And one of the keynote speakers was the most impressive as when it comes to having props on stage. He was a great speaker as well. I mean, the keynote was fascinating, but his name was Ty Bennett, and they built an entire American Ninja rig behind him on the stage. And then he had his kids I guess they perform on American Ninja, and they came out and they performed on this obstacle course. And he used all of this as a metaphor for speakers that you got to do the coursework every day. Like it's a craft. It looks easy when you're watching it on TV, right? American Ninja, anybody can sit there and be like, oh, I could do that. But when you get up there and actually get your hands dirty and start doing it, and then you get a professional to show you the tricks, like swinging your legs back a certain way in order to make those jumps, that's when you realize that you don't know everything. Some things you need to unlearn because you think you're doing them correctly. And you need to do the coursework every single day, whatever the coursework is for you. It was an outstanding presentation, and also really made me think about taking my game up when it comes to the entertainment value in my talks.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think what immediately comes to mind for me when you mention that is just the idea of putting in the hours is not always going to reap the rewards or get you the result that you're wanting. So we speak about putting in the work, because we could be putting the work in the wrong way. You mentioned technique. So if you try and do that obstacle course, or you're trying to become an elite tennis player or an elite golfer, it doesn't matter how many hours you put in, because if you're doing something slightly wrong, you need somebody to be helping you with a change in that technique, a change in the approach to doing it, keeping your head down for longer, the angle of your wrist or the angle of your backswing, whatever it may be. You're right. I mean, speaking is very much the same. I think there's certainly no alternative, or no replacement for practicing in pub, getting on stage and doing it. But I think if you can put yourself in a room of peers, or joining a network of some sort where there are tried and tested speakers who've been around, paid the school fees, learned the lessons already, just to give you those small tweaks to your technique. I'm lumping a lot in there with technique. It's massively helpful. Absolutely massively helpful.
Okay, yes, Ty Bennett. Interesting. Yeah, if you look him up, TY, he actually looks a little bit different than he did on stage. But very. Have you heard of him before or seen him talk?
I haven't. I haven't heard of Ty Bennett.
And I'm sorry, it's Ninja Warrior, not American Ninja.
I knew what you were meaning, though. So
American Ninja Warrior. Okay.
You see, we're on the same page. Same wavelength.
Yeah, but fascinating. I'm looking at my notes now to see. His talk was called Redefining High Performance.
Yeah, there we go. I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you
So,
one another good soundbite he had was if you treat your business casually, you'll end up a casualty.
hmm, yeah, it's a goodie.
Yeah.
So where do you think it becomes just like novelty and pure performative? I'm going to say performative arts, but then that's well done to you. Props for that. But where do you think one needs to draw the line between having props on stage and distraction from you being really good at your craft? I'm butchering the question, but I think you know what I mean.
No, I think I understand what you're saying. Like it, you shouldn't have a prop on stage just for the prop's sake. It needs
Yeah.
to support the message very, very well. It needs to be a strong metaphor, and that needs to be established well before you even really introduce the prop. Which
Mm,
which is interesting because as he came out on stage, you can't hide the prop. I mean, it was there the whole time as a background. I mean, this thing was huge. I mean, I'm talking
that's
about
perfect.
like span of this room that I'm in. If you're watching this on YouTube, so you couldn't hide it. But it evokes this curiosity, like, why does this guy have a whole obstacle course behind him? So the audience is paying attention, and he really, really established the metaphor of doing the coursework first before he even touched the prop. And then later when he brought his kids out there, he had established it even more. And then he even pulled down some of his messages. He had these banners attached to the obstacle course where he would
Yeah.
pull down certain catchphrases. I mean, it was
Ah,
absolutely well done. Honestly, I was thinking to myself, and a lot of the other speakers were too, like, what is this guy's keynote fee? It has to be crazy high.
can you imagine to ship that around everywhere?
Right. How do you
Ridiculous.
Well, not only do you travel with it, but someone has to people have to assemble it, and then you have to make sure it's assembled well because you got people swinging on it and climbing and doing pull-ups. And he brought up a couple of people from the audience and actually had them do demonstrations on it. So it wasn't just his sons. So man, his fee, and then you have to travel with your team, with your sons. So props to you, Ty. Man, I am wow. There's always another level, and that guy, he killed it. I won't lie, he killed it. And
So
NSA, this is my first event, and I gotta say, I go to a lot of conferences, and most conferences, I have a thought to myself like, some people aren't that good on stage. It's like, why is this person speaking? Like some people just aren't that good. It's hit or miss. At an NSA conference, everyone who opens their mouth on stage is top
good.
notch. And it's just like, it really raises the bar. And it's a long conference too. I mean, it's like almost a week long, but very, very impressive. So I've had NSA on my list to join for quite a while now and finally got on.
Did Ty have slides as well? Or was
Mhm.
was the prop and those banners that you were speaking about, was it no slides, so slides as well?
He also had slides. Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't
Wait,
rely on them heavily. He really just
yeah,
used them to drive home certain points like that quote I read to you about casually and casualty.
yeah,
That was on a
yeah,
slide. But yeah, it was well done. And the slides were up on big screens on the
yeah,
far ends of the
yeah.
stages, and then the rig was behind him. The obstacle course was right behind him.
And I'm curious now, on some of the other speakers, most speakers have slides these days, or did you see some speakers no slides? What was the standard?
Yeah, most had slides, except there were a few that were just doing kind of short talks that maybe didn't have slides and it just had the video zoomed in on them. And there was a panel of 4 bureau agents that was just like a Q&A panel. They didn't have slides.
Yeah, because slides can become a crutch as well, but they're wonderful way to take the audience on the journey with you, but also keep you honest as a speaker, keep you on the right track and
Yeah.
on your own journey of delivering the talk. And it's those damn segues. Those are what you have to nail as a speaker.
The
Otherwise, it's like
trans.
the transitions between.
Yeah.
Not
When
always
I
easy.
when I did my TEDx talk back in I think it was 2023 in St. George, Utah, we didn't have slides, and no one for that particular TEDx was allowed to have slides, and I found that very challenging. I think my talk is about 12 minutes long or so, and you have to memorize the whole thing. You don't have slides, you don't have notes or anything, and you have to perform it in a way that makes it memorable. I think I did a decent job, but I will say it was very, very challenging.
Yeah.
So if look up Ethan King TEDx, if anybody watching this and wants to give that a look. And in other news, I actually will be doing another TEDx talk. This one is in Egypt this October. So we'll be doing a
In
totally different
Egypt.
in Egypt in New Cairo. It is
Amazing.
TEDx Et Tegnamo, and that means New Cairo. So that should be interesting. I have to go,
Yeah, that's very cool.
have to be in Boston the day after it,
Amazing.
which is crazy for another speaking engagement. So it's that will be a lot of plane hopping.
I love it. That's really interesting. I've also got to now give some thought to props,
Yeah.
not just for novelty's sake, but how do you use them to really land the message?
Yes. And they can really seal in a message. I mean, you see,
Mm,
here I am telling you about this guy's stuff. But
exactly.
yeah,
That was what
once you
I was
have that
thinking.
good metaphor, whatever that is, that's really strong and it drives it home. And I mean, it helps
Yeah.
when, for him, his kids were very successful on American Ninja Warrior. I'm not familiar enough with the show to know how far they got or whatever, but they set their mind to it. They said, Dad, we want to be on American Ninja Warrior. And he's like, you got to do the work every single day. You got to do the court. You need to spend an hour on this thing every single day.
Yeah.
And what is that for you?
Commitment is the filter for greatness. That's what it is. Like, are you interested or are you committed? An hour a day means you're committed.
That's right. You got to be committed. So it was kind of an impromptu episode, but hope that left you all with a strong king move. Whatever it is you're committed to, show your commitment by doing the coursework 1 hour a day. And props to Ty Bennett. Look that guy up.
Thank you.
That's a wrap for today's episode of King Moves. Remember, in chess, like in business, one right move can change everything. Take today's action step, make your move, and build momentum.
If you found value in today's episode, share it with someone who's ready for their next breakthrough. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss our weekly conversations. Until next time.